Welcome to
Monday with the Mavens.
All right, you guys, today is all about real talk. We have some really fun questions that you guys sent in. We have some other stuff we're going to talk about too.
Oh, hang on. I forgot to put mine on Do Not Disturb. One sec.
And we're just going to jump right in. So if you guys have questions if you're coming in or you have something to add, absolutely, please do. We'll pay attention to the comment box down below. We've got Facebook over here, Instagram over here, and first of all, happy Monday. Like, I am really happy to be here with you, buddy.
You and me both. It's a great day.
It's a really good day. I hope that you guys are experiencing that too. And if you're not, let's figure out how to change that.
Yeah.
Because life is short, you guys. We were just talking about that. Like, I feel like we've been saying this a lot lately. But, man, like, I just think that if there is things we can change that are in our control, or maybe that are not even in our control, and we can, like, reevaluate that, like, to make life more vibrant, fuller, more full of love, like, why wouldn't we, you know?
Yep.
And one way to do that, and I wasn't actually planning on going here, is to feel healthy enough to want to. Honestly, like, it is such an important foundation to how you arrive in life. I'm not saying you can't arrive as a shining star if you're not healthy, but boy, your star is going to be brighter if you are, because you're going to feel better and you're going to be more confident and you're going to have more energy and you're going to have all the things.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I woke up really early this morning. It was like 4:00 in the morning, and I laid in bed for like 20 minutes and before I was finally like, I'm just going to get up. And so I got up this morning super early, obviously. Like, nobody in my house was up yet.
I didn't know this.
Yeah. Well, I think I stayed in bed till 4:30-ish. Anyway, I got up at 4:30 and I went and I climbed in our hot tub and I did like a mindful meditation from my phone. And I've done this one lots of times. In fact, it's the one that I tend to do the most, and it's about setting your intention for the day. And they have you like pick a word that you want to live into. And I've talked about this on here before. But I think it's really powerful, especially if you're going through a rough patch or if life is just hard, to pick something positive that you want to focus on. And so today my word was light, and not necessarily like light, but like just feeling light, being bright and shining my light. And I think that it's really powerful to set your intention on something positive at the beginning of the day. It's really easy to wake up and to be like, man, it's Monday and it's kind of foggy out and that sucks, and to kind of settle into that when we don't have to. We don't have to settle into the drudgery. We don't have to settle into negativity. Instead, like, set your intention for something positive. And it really does change everything. We talk about like being grateful in the mornings. Like, what do you have in your gratitude journal? Maybe just thinking about the things that you're grateful for is enough to set you on a positive path for the day. I really like this new practice that I have of picking a word and like living into it. And oftentimes my word is the same word day after day, and that's okay too. You don't have to be crazy creative. Like, maybe it's smile, maybe it's joy, maybe it's laughter.
In fact, right now, because we, our challenge last month, we have different monthly challenges every month for our clients, and sometimes they're combos. And our goal is that they compound on each other so that you create this habit in the month, and then you carry it over month to month. And pretty soon, you know, you're moving more, you're drinking more water, you're practicing more gratitude, you have improved sleep, like whatever it may be. And it was gratitude last month, and we should actually ask our clients how many of them have continued that practice into this month. It was coupled. There was a physical component to it last month too, but just because I think it's worth pausing for, like, in this moment right now, because it's so powerful. It's not just the act of being grateful for something. It's what's happening chemically in your body when you express gratitude. The effect that it has on your brain and your nervous system, and what that can lead to, even from a health standpoint, like if nothing else, it's really powerful. So what in this moment, if you pause and you have to think of at least one thing that you are grateful for, like, what is that? Feel free to share or keep it to yourself. But just focusing on that, because it can shift the trajectory of your day.
Yeah.
What's something you're grateful for in this moment?
You know, I'm super grateful for my kids. Like,
I love that.
My kids are so cool, you guys. You guys would be jealous.
They are. We've both got amazing kids.
Yeah. I don't know. Last night I was sitting down with my son. He's 17, and and he's super into music. Like he's
really talented.
He's really a talented musician. And I asked him a question. He has a music book and I opened it and it's like a foreign language. It is a foreign language. And I asked him about a certain note, like what note is this? Because I didn't recognize it, even though I can read music a little bit. And he sat with me for 15 minutes and explained to me like reading music, and he was teaching me things, and it was like such a special time. And even though it was like a quick little 15-minute blip that probably didn't mean as much to him as it did to me, it was just like so meaningful to just sit and have him share something that he's passionate about with me. And I got to spend the morning with my daughter and my husband, and I don't know, I'm feeling really grateful that that I've got cool kids who I think they really like me.
They do.
Yeah.
You're a great mom.
Thanks. How about you?
I'm really thankful for our connection and conversation this morning.
Me too. You know, sometimes you just need a friend, right? And you just need that one person who you can just like spill your guts to, and you know that they're not going to judge you or shame you or make you feel inferior in any way. That everybody needs a hype buddy. They do. And you're my hype. You're my hype girl
too. Oh man, you guys. And so
I already feel so much better.
Right. If you have a hype person in your life, I dare you to reach out to them today and just tell them how thankful you are for them. Because sometimes it's just like you get busy and you forget, or it's not even that you forget, you just don't take the time to like be like, hey man, like you are rad, and like you bring light to my life, and like you shine bright, and you know all the things. People need to hear it.
Yeah, people want to know that their life is better because you're in it.
Totally. Okay, guys, this isn't why we're here to talk about like
that's all good stuff.
We've been so much more sentimental on these lately.
It's really not like either one of us
it's
either.
It's just funny. It's good.
We're in our feels.
We are in our feels lately.
Yeah,
which I think is a really healthy thing. I think we go through seasons and feels are real. Okay,
yes, they are.
Before we jump into some of the questions, let's tackle some of our updates. We talked about some of these in stories, but we've got some good stuff going on, you guys.
Yeah, we do.
Like, really good stuff. The future for Macro Mavens and our clients is like wildly bright and light.
Yes, it's super exciting. Also, if you haven't watched our stories, we're having a contest.
Yep.
Very spontaneous contest. Emmy and I are going to start going to lunch once a week, and we're going to take you guys with us to a different restaurant that's local to us. Maybe we'll pop in some chain restaurants too that are local to more people, since we have clients all over the place. But we're going to take you with us. We're going to show you the menu. We're going to show you what we order. We're going to talk about the macros and what that looks like and how we would track it. And we think it's going to be really fun, but we need a name.
Yep.
And we like things that start with M, and there are a bazillion words that start with M. So like munchies, meals, whatever. You guys get creative, and
name our segment,
name our series, and if we pick your name, we will send you a prize.
A super cool prize.
Like an amazing prize, you guys.
Like bonkers.
Yeah.
What did you say earlier? What was your phrase when we were on our client Zoom?
Bananas?
No, ding dong.
Oh yeah, ding dong. Yeah.
I love that.
Somebody said something and it was like the light bulb. Ding dong.
Okay, so there's that. And we are probably going to start that today, so stay tuned.
Yeah. But you might not see it until tomorrow.
Yeah. Also, we are so excited to finally this week have Super Sleep back in stock. You guys have been so patient.
We've been less than patient. Like,
we
really
have been, because you guys, it is killer. And like, I have not personally had it, and I am obsessed with it. Like, we created it because there's nothing on the market like it that combines these ingredients at the potency that's in there, and have it be all natural with no fillers, and like it's incredible. And so we had this last summer, we thought we had plenty of time to do another run before our current stock ran out. Everything is shipped from our distributor, aside from some local places that carry it. And I will just say, not all supplements are created equal. Amen. And we can absolutely attest to that, because the issues that we had with this last really big run of Super Sleep we could have absolutely pushed it forward and made it available to you guys, because there is not a lot of oversight in the supplement industry. And it makes you really question what you're getting from like big box stores, because I don't think most people would have probably made the same decision that we did. And that was that we wanted it perfect, because on the first run, there was a bit of a caking issue. It probably wouldn't have affected the actual outcome of the supplement itself, but there was a question about it. So we had them completely redo it. And then there was an encapsulation issue. And once again, like, we could have pushed it forward, but we didn't. And that's costly and timely, and all of our, reoccurring orders that we were losing, but it was the right thing to do.
It was, yeah.
And so now it's finally ready and it's perfect. And we pay to have it third party tested because we want it absolutely above reproach. It's non-habit forming. It's all natural. It works with your body's natural hormone harmony, specifically cortisol levels at night, so that they peak in the morning and go down throughout the day. It helps with deep restorative sleep. It is killer. We will say there's no such thing as a magic pill. So if you're not already, we have on our website, macromavens.life, on the toolbox, we have a deep restorative sleep overview, and it's all the things you can do, like no bright lights, no a cold, dark room, an inviting room, moving. Like, we have all the things that we would first want you to do, absolutely. Because if you can get really good deep restorative sleep without any form of a supplement, please do.
Yeah, that's the goal, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But if you struggle at all, and for me, like, I see a night and day difference. I have an Oura Ring that tracks all of my sleep, my respiratory rate, my deep sleep, my REM sleep, my light sleep, my latency, all the things. And it is like black and white when I use Super Sleep.
Yeah, I don't usually wake up at 4 a.m. and decide to go get in my hot tub. I'm usually asleep at that hour.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm real excited to get it back.
Yeah. So anyways, it does, as of today, it shows back ordered on our site, but you can order it, and as soon as it's with our distributor, which will be in the next couple days, it'll ship out. So you can still place your order, and I know we have tons of people excited about it. We will have it in stock locally here in Southern Oregon, both at Vilamos Boutique and then also
Rogue Valley Health.
Yeah.
Rogue Valley Health
Clinic. And then online to anybody, anywhere.
Yep.
So that's exciting.
Yeah, can't wait for that.
Yeah.
Man.
Also, yes, we get this question all the time, and the answer is yes. Like, we are accepting new clients, and it is like such a wonderful time to jump in. Any time of the year is a wonderful time to jump in. But especially right now, like, think of where you could be in 3, 6, 9 months. And honestly, like, if you have a goal, like, stop throwing things at the wall. Like, have a strategy. Like, have a strategy. You are going to get there so much faster. And like we say this, I wish earlier in life I would have recognized the power of a coach, because in any area of life, because there are a lot of areas in my life that there are people that know a lot more things than I do. And why reinvent the wheel when you can have somebody that understands your bio individuality and works with you and your goals? And we have a killer team of coaches. Our outcomes are amazing. We want you to be consistent, but we're going to give you the tools to do so. Yeah. And so if you've been on the fence, if you've been curious, we always offer a free consult. Macromavens.life, click the hop on board button, and we'll reach out to you, see if we're a good fit, answer your questions, and go from there. But yeah, we're here for it. We're here for you.
Hope's not a strategy.
Nope.
It's sure not. It's good to hope.
It is.
But you gotta have some movement, some action behind the hope.
Yep. Ain't that true?
That is the truth, isn't it?
I said ain't.
You did. I hate that word.
I don't like it either.
Yeah. In fact, I told my kids, I was like, that is not a word. Quit using it. And they don't use it. Like, they don't use it regularly. But my son, who's kind of a smart alecky sometimes, he's like, you know, Mom, it is in the dictionary. Oh, it's in the Webster dictionary. Sounds so it is a word. And I was like, well, I don't like it. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, let's jump into some of your guys' questions. You want to start?
Yeah, sure. Okay. So I don't know if we even mentioned this today, that we're not picking one hot topic, you guys. We're talking about lots of different hot topics, and we are answering your guys' questions. So a lot of questions. We get a lot of questions coming in throughout the week, and we kind of keep a running tally of the different questions. And I don't know, once a month-ish, we try to hop on and answer those. So that's what we're doing today. So one question, and actually there's two questions that kind of go hand in hand, is what do you do when you're just not feeling it? And my answer to that is you just do it anyway, because it really doesn't come down to motivation. Yep. If we relied on motivation, you guys, we just wouldn't get things done. If I relied on being motivated to go to the gym every day, I just wouldn't go to the gym because motivation is fleeting. There are some days when I am so motivated to do all of the amazing things, and there are other days when I really just want to climb under a rock and not do anything. And I have to rely on discipline. And a lot of people say, I just don't have any willpower. Well, it's not even necessarily willpower, it is discipline. So I work out, Emmy works out first thing in the morning. I don't even give myself time in the morning to talk myself out of working out. My clothes are out the night before, my shoes are out. I don't think like, oh, if I feel like I want to go in the morning, I'm going to go. It's just like, no, I just go in the morning unless I'm sick or something like that. But it's just like, that's what I do every single morning without question. I get up and I go, and I don't wait to make sure I feel okay or make sure that I want to go or that I feel motivated to go. I just go. And sometimes my energy level is different on different days. Like maybe like this morning I came to the gym and I felt great. I really wanted to work out. It had been a few days and I was like ready for it. Now tomorrow I might not have as much energy, and that's okay. I'm still going to go. I'm still going to show up for myself. I'm going to be disciplined in that way. And I'm going to be thankful at the end of my workout that I came and I showed up for myself, because that's really what it's about. And then that builds habits, you guys, and we talked about this morning. We sat in the sauna this morning and we were just talking about like, it's not always work. Like to get up and go to the gym is not work for me anymore. Yeah. It's just part of my day. I don't even think about it, honestly. But it wasn't always like that. Like you have to build habits that then just become the norm. It's like eating, right? Everybody eats every day. If you don't, you should. If you don't, please message us because we want to talk to you guys about that. But like, most people eat food every day, not necessarily because you want to. Some people don't like eating, but you need it. It's a habit, or, different things like that. You go to work. If you have a job, you go to work because you need to. Like I get up in the morning and I go to the gym because I need to. Yeah. And if I miss a few days, I am like jonesing to go to the gym. Like I need a good workout.
I need it more for my mental health than my physical health.
Honestly.
And really that's what it comes down to it now, because we talk about all the time how your outcomes, your physical outcomes, both internally and externally, are going to be 80% plus nutrition. Yeah. It is what happens on your plate. It's then the nuances that happen in the gym. So you've got to dial in your nutrition first. And I could maintain, for the most part, off of nutrition alone. I would lose some muscle mass. But the gym for me is I need it. Yeah. I am a better person for everybody in my life when I move my body. If you're not there yet and you don't have your nutrition dialed in, you got to get your nutrition in check first, or you are doing yourself a disservice. You cannot exercise your way out of a bad fork. You just can't.
And if you have the mindset of like, oh my gosh, I went out last night with some friends and I ate like garbage and I drank or whatever. And so, man, I have to go to the gym tomorrow to make up for like my lack of discipline the day before. Like that's not
why you're not going to burn 3,500 extra calories in like a session. Yeah. Like you're just not. Even burning 500 calories is a lot of calories to burn, and it is easy to eat 500 calories.
Yeah. And so like, don't shame yourself either. Like we talk about this all the time. Like don't think of exercise as a punishment. Like, man, now I have to go to the gym to work off what I just did. Yeah. Like, that's not what it's about. Like, and especially like if you go into the gym with a mindset of like, this is not a punishment. This is an investment into my body and into my mental capacity and my brain. That's really what going to the gym should be. It's an investment into your overall well-being.
Absolutely. Well said.
I really feel like the gyms need to have that on the wall. Like, if you're not in the right mindset, get out.
Okay, so this next one kind of goes along with that. And are you looking at yours?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this is a conversation that I was just having with a potential client. And it's a conversation that we've had a lot. And it's controversial. And I feel really strongly in one direction.
Hold on. Prepare yourselves, guys.
No, like
this is good.
I'm gonna be tactful, but like
you're always tactful, but like you're always tactful, but like I can feel. So right now, like the passion is like it's nice and settled right here, but she's gonna start talking, and as she starts talking, you guys, this is when it gets good. The passion, it comes up higher and higher and higher, and she can't contain it. It just like has to come out. So
it just has to come out. I will say though, like I am open to having my mind changed. I love to try to understand alternate perspectives, but. Here's where I'm going with this. The conversation started in that this gal that I was talking to was really concerned about body image issues with her daughter, with her doing this program. And I totally get that. I have boys, but I too really want to teach my boys that it's not about the physical aesthetic outcome. It's about how we feel. And so what I was telling this gal is that, yeah, there is, for a season, you'll be weighing your food, and that, having your kids, daughters and sons, understand that it's not about a diet culture. It is about finding out how to fuel your body and your brain, not restricting, because we do use a deficit for a season strategically after we've fueled your metabolism, if you're a candidate for it. But we are not about a deficit game. We are not about removing food long term. We are about fueling your body and your brain. And I think that if we can educate our kids and having them and our families and whomever, if they're asking like, oh, you're doing some diet, or, oh, why are you weighing your food? Like, first of all, it's nobody's business. It is your kid's business. And second of all,
especially if they're asking about it.
Yeah, it's an opportunity to educate and to let them know, for a season, I am weighing my food. I'm trying to understand how I'm going to feel my best, how I can have better energy, how I can sleep better, how I can show up better for you guys. And so in this season, I'm working with a coach that's really working with me on navigating how to best fuel my body and my brain, so that the focus is more on how you're feeling. And I think that's so much more accepting to people in life than on trying to reach a specific aesthetic. Now, this is where the soapbox comes in a little bit. And that is, I 1000% agree that we should not body shame ever. There is no one body that we should all aspire to be. We are all different. We were all created differently. We were all created beautifully. And I absolutely think that we should strive to have confidence in how we were created and celebrate our differences. 1000%. That said, our culture is broken. And we are so afraid to offend somebody that we almost celebrate unhealth, and it has to stop. It is, people can be beautiful of any shape and size, but the bottom line is that our kids and our communities are rapidly moving towards a really unhealthy state. The rate of diabetes is increasing. The rate of depression is increasing. The rate of cancer is increasing. All these comorbidities, which are basically additional diagnoses for people, like, we are moving towards a state of unhealth because, in my opinion, so many people are just accepting of, like, of unhealthy lifestyles. Now, to each their own. If that's what you choose, great. I am never going to shame you. I am never going to tell you you need to live differently. But if as a culture we're like, oh, it's beautiful, it's, it's this, it's that. Not that there can't be beauty in any shape and size, but when we are talking about feeding our bodies excessive calories and processed foods, and like not calling a spade for what actual health is, like having a reasonable HSCRP, which is your inflammatory marker, because if it's high, like, you are moving towards disease. Yeah. You are moving towards cancer, diabetes, IBS, like whatever it is. If we are not looking at our blood sugar levels, if we're not, like, we are doing ourselves a disservice. We are robbing ourselves of a future where we can feel good and be better for the people that we love. And so I guess I just say, like, we're so sensitive, and I just think that we need to be kind, caring, and honest when we're asked.
Yeah. Can I add some fuel to your fire?
Please.
I didn't actually see this. I'm on a little bit of a social media fast currently, and I get this is a sad story about who I am. I don't watch the news because ignorance is bliss, and I like living in a blissful state. Yeah. But most of the information that I get about the world, honestly, comes from social media. And I've been out of that box now since January 1. But Tyler, my husband, he was like, hey, listen to this. I just saw, and I don't know if there's validity to this. I don't know anything. I don't know where this came from, but he's like, the U.S. government just said that cereal, Frosted Flakes, is healthier for you than steak. And for one, I was like our government is telling us this. Now, for one, don't get me wrong. I am not a fan of the food pyramid, period, point blank. Like, the food pyramid can be like
it's
smushed.
so
It's so outdated. And it's even the updates that they do to it. It's just, it's so upside down and backwards. It's just wrong.
Not to mention, no two people need the same thing.
Yeah.
It depends on so many variables.
Yeah. So if you believe that cereal and Frosted Flakes is better than steak, please head to macromavens.life and click the hop on board button. We would love to just have a conversation with you about nutrition, because honestly, we truly believe that if you are fueling your body appropriately for your lifestyle, your goals, your needs, then you will feel better. And when you feel better, you look better. Yeah. Period, point blank.
When you look better, you often have more confidence and do better. And it's not about the look. I do want to go back to that. Like, yes, do people tend to have more confidence when they're more comfortable in their skin? Absolutely. Yeah.
It's because you feel better.
Lasting health. We're talking about waking up with energy. We're talking about having sustained energy throughout the day. We're talking about having reduced pain. We're talking about being able to get good, deep, restorative sleep. We're talking about being able to arrive in life and do the things you want without being uncomfortable. Like, that is what we're talking about. And that's why we get so passionate about what we're doing, because the narrative has to change. Yeah. Like, it has to change, and it's got to start somewhere.
Right. And people are hearing, there's just garbage information.
Let me just break this down for
you. Here we go.
I don't know if that I don't know if that is a true government statement or not, but I did see a meme or something like that. And here's the thing. Frosted Flakes, if you're going to eat them, if you have a glucose monitor on, you are going to see a sharp spike in your blood sugar levels. That's going to be followed by a crash. That is going to mess up, especially repetitively, your hormone harmony. It's going to interrupt your nervous system. It's going to affect your cognition. It's going to affect your microbiome, your gut, your brain connection. You will be moving towards disease. If you repetitively eat something like Frosted Flakes. Not to say you can't fit them in. I'm just saying, if they're comparing it to steak. Now let's take a steak. Now, not everybody needs to eat animal protein. We have plenty of plant-based protein people, but protein is queen. We need it for our cellular structure. We need it for our cognition. If you take a steak, especially one without hormones and antibiotics, and you are fueling your body and getting healthy fats and protein, it is going to help with your hormone harmony. It's going to help with your gut-brain connection. It's going to help with your nervous system. It's going to help with your satiation. It
helps build muscle, your skin, your hair, your nails, all of that
natural
benefits.
Collagen. It's just it's so broken. Are there healthier things than a steak? Maybe, sure. but I love myself a good steak.
Amen. Yeah.
So anyways, you guys, it is just come on.
Yeah. Do your own research. Yeah. If you hear something and you're like, that's bonkers, it's probably bonkers. Yeah. And then just go and dive in and do your own research. And if you don't know where to start, like I said, go to macromavens.life, click the hop on board button. All of our coaches are nutrition certified. We know what we're talking about. So we would love to chat with you guys more about it. Let's move on to another question. It's maybe not quite so passion inducing. So maybe it is. I don't know.
I like passion.
This one kind of goes back a little bit about, this person wrote it and said, good intentions, poor follow through. That kind of falls back onto the discipline over motivation. So you can have really great intentions and then have really poor follow through. You've got to show up for yourself. How bad do you want it? What are your goals? Do you have a plan? If you set a goal, a goal is fantastic, and we have all of our clients set goals. We want to know what your goals are so that we can
and we can help you figure them out.
Yeah, so that we can give you an assignment that's going to get you to your goals. Yeah. But what we don't do is we don't just throw an assignment at you without knowing what your goals are. Yeah. Once we know your goals, then it's this is the plan. We're going to start with this plan. Step 1 is to get you going. Yeah. Step 2 to getting to your goals is eating this assignment. Step 3 to getting you to your goals is increasing your movement. Whatever it is, it looks different for every person. But we set a goal, and then your coach then sits down with you, and we figure out the best way to get you to your goal. What is that plan? Yeah. So I get it. I get not feeling it. I get having great, this is Betsy, having great intentions and poor follow through. But if you have a goal, it makes it
Yeah.
that much easier. It also makes it easier when you have a coach on your side and really acting as an accountability buddy
Yeah.
who's looking at your numbers. They're looking at your, whether or not you're hitting your targets and different things like
You
that.
can reach out when you're struggling.
Yeah, you can be like,
Yeah.
I just don't feel like I can do it today, or I just don't know what to eat, or I don't know what to have for breakfast, whatever that looks like. Like, that's what your coach is there for, and use them.
Yep. Do it.
Do it.
Okay, my next one, and this is applicable in life in general, and something that I've been putting, I've always believed this, but I've just been, putting, Betsy girl.
She's a real licker.
This is my Betsy. And that is, so much of it with our clients and in life is the mind. Like, mind over matter, right? And it comes down to like self-fulfilling prophecies, because I did this story over the weekend, and it just like stuck with me. And that is, so my son is in a play called Dorothy in Wonderland. So it's a mix between Alice in Wonderland and Wizard of Oz. And so we watched the Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland. And
don't you love her?
I love her.
I know.
And
so curious and like excited about life and like willing to like step out of her comfort zone.
Oh my God.
I love it. I want to be more like Alice.
Yeah. Yeah. And so she says the only way to achieve the impossible is to believe it's possible. And I think so many times in life, we put ourselves in a box, we have these glass ceilings. And if you have desired something or want something, but just have always kind of told yourself like, oh, like I can't do that, or it's not in the cards for me, or it must be nice, or whatever it may be, I dare you to shift your thinking a little bit, because it will never happen if you don't actually believe it can. And that's true with nutrition, right? Like, a lot of people, they have this goal, they start something, but they've never actually done the work to shift their mind frame to truly believe that it's possible. And we do have people that start and they're like, I can't ever get there. But through the process of having a coach and shifting their thinking and getting little wins along the way, they actually start believing, I can do this. And then oftentimes they surpass their goals. And those are some of the most rewarding outcomes for us, because so much of it is mental. Like, we have to believe we can actually achieve it. And even a step further than that, like, visualizing us achieving it is really powerful, because you start seeing it and believing it and feeling it, and then you live into it. And it's powerful, you guys. Yeah. So, like, there is for me, like, I have a few things that I have had some limiting beliefs on, and I've been really evaluating that and being like, no, like, I can have that. Like, I can
you can
live
have your
into
cake
that.
and you can eat it too.
Yeah, but it takes like believing it and then taking the steps to creating a reality.
Yeah.
And so anyways, I dare us all.
Yeah.
Like,
and I think it's true in like all aspects of life,
Yeah.
not just nutrition and
Totally.
And like the gym aspect, but like it's true in like your relationships.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Yeah.
Go after it.
Yeah.
And I think that for one, I think that it's a really Betsy's like really into us today.
Yeah.
I think that it's a really good example for our kids. Like, our kids should see sometimes when the fire is lit within us.
Yeah.
And I feel really strongly about that, because I have one kid who like has a natural fire that's lit under her a lot, and another who isn't naturally that way. And so
he's lit in some ways.
He is. But when they see the example that you set, like, this is what I want and I'm going to go after it, and this is how I'm going to do it, it's powerful, you guys. And you got to believe it, because if you don't believe it, like, you're wasting your time. You're spinning your wheels.
Totally.
Yeah. Amy and I are about ready to take life by the horns, and
in a real big
way, and we're doing it.
We're doing it.
You guys can come along for the ride.
In fact, we hope you do.
Yeah, we'll bring you with us.
Okay, your turn.
Okay, this one's really simple, but I get this question all the time, you guys. How do I increase protein? For me, like, it's really simple. I just eat more protein. That's not always really easy for a lot of people, especially if you aren't a big protein person. And so the easiest way to increase protein, and we get this question a lot because oftentimes, not always, but often when we get new clients, we will look at their numbers, and oftentimes we increase their protein intake. It's just kind of a, well, for one, protein is the most thermogenic macro, which means your body works really hard to process and absorb.
Most people come to us under eating protein. Not everybody, but most people.
But your body works really hard to process protein, and so you burn a ton of calories with just by eating it. And your body needs it, you guys. You need protein, whether you're a vegetarian or a vegan or whether you love animal protein. Like,
if you want to shed fat while preserving muscle, you got to eat some
gotta
protein.
eat protein. And if you want to have muscle, you got to eat protein. If you want energy, you got to eat protein. If you want your brain to function well, you got to eat protein. So the easiest way to increase protein is to just increase the protein that you're already eating. Yeah. For example, if you eat eggs in the morning, instead of, going insane and eating a dozen eggs, you don't need to do that. Just increase your eggs, add an extra egg, add 2 or 3 egg whites to your breakfast already. If you love a chicken salad at night for dinner, instead of having 1 chicken breast, add a breast and a half or 2. Don't feel weird going to a restaurant and asking for double protein. I do it all the time, constantly. Constantly ask for double protein. Nobody's like, why do you want that? Nobody asks, nobody cares. In fact, the restaurant's stoked because they're getting a few extra dollars. So just increase the amount of protein that you're already eating. It's pretty simple.
It's real simple.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, I don't have anything else on mine.
Oh wow, I've got a few more. How do I follow a macro plan when my family is not?
You want me to jump into that
one? Do it, yeah.
Easy. I think the biggest thing is that you start backwards. And so, one, you communicate to your family and just let them know, like, once again, going back to what we said before, hey, for a season, I'm really working on tracking my food with specificity so I can really understand what helps fuel my body and my brain. That doesn't mean we necessarily need to change anything for you guys, but I want you to know what I'm doing. Then you get a little bit strategic. And so it doesn't mean that you can't eat dinner with your families or meals with your families.
Or make 2 meals. Who wants to make 2 meals?
Yeah.
I do not want to make a meal for me and a meal for my family. I don't want to do that.
So let's say that you're planning having a meal with your family. Like, what you do is you know what you're going to have for dinner. You track that first because we want our clients, especially out of the gate, to pre-track. And then it's a little bit easier to flex your breakfast and your lunch. And so that's one way to absolutely do it. When you're tracking macros, it doesn't mean you're completely changing the foods you're eating. You're just going to change the ratios in which you eat them. And we are going to likely work with you on starting to minimize or replace some inflammatory foods. Not everybody does that. But it doesn't mean that you have to totally change things for your family. Now, we have so many people that say, like, man, my family, like, really started, like, leaning in and shifting some of the things, like, especially with some of the recipes. Like, there's delicious, nutritious food that is really well balanced that people love. Yeah. And so you just kind of start shifting the way that the whole family eats, which, quite frankly, you should.
Yeah. Yep. You said it perfectly. Track your dinner first.
Yep.
Especially if you guys have family dinner. If most people tend to have breakfast and lunch where you can be more flexible and you can eat things that maybe your family wouldn't eat. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, I love to plan a family dinner and then I work the rest of my day around that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty simple. Okay. Opinions on protein powders and shakes.
Oh, we talked about this in our Zoom this morning with our clients.
Yeah. I've got lots of opinions about it.
too.
I have lots of opinions about lots of things, but
we're an opinionated bunch over here.
I think this is a great one because I think people very easily fall into the trap of protein powders and shakes. Let's be real. I keep Fairlifes in my house. My kids love them. They do. I also have protein powders in my house. I have 3, maybe 4 different flavors. Right now, the thing about it is not a staple in my diet, nor is it a staple in anybody in my family's diet.
The only thing that is a staple is I do put 1 scoop of chocolate collagen powder in my coffee in the morning.
Yeah, I do too. And I keep the protein powders on hand when I make different things. So I'll make
a chocolate mug cake that uses a protein powder that's delicious.
I actually think that we made it on a live.
We did. We did.
Maybe a month or so ago. But yeah, I keep protein powders on hand for different things like that. But you guys, just because one scoop of protein powder has 60 grams protein, 30 grams protein, whatever it is, if Fairlife has 30 grams protein, whatever they're advertising, does not mean that your body is absorbing that many grams of protein, especially if you're getting up in the morning and you're having a protein shake where you're taking, your milk or water and you're throwing a scoop of protein in there, or you're just drinking a Fairlife. Our bodies were made to process protein slowly because our bodies were made to process protein from whole food sources. Whole food sources processed through our intestines, where our body absorbs the nutrients much, much slower than liquids. When you're taking your protein in from a liquid source, it's not staying in your digestive tract long enough to absorb all 30 grams of that protein. You're lucky to get 10, 15 grams if you're drinking it on an empty stomach and the liquid is just kind of going through you. So all that's to say, I'm not saying go home and throw out all your protein powders and throw out your Fairlives. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying if you are relying on those things for your protein to hit your numbers, we would love for you to reevaluate that and to get your protein from whole food sources instead. So if you can couple a protein shake with whole foods, let's say you put a scoop of protein in your morning smoothie, and your morning smoothie has yogurt and some greens and maybe some nuts, and it's balanced well as far as fat and carbs and other protein sources, then that's okay. It's going to go through your system a little bit slower. But just know that the number on the package, as far as grams of protein in that, does not mean that that's what your body's going to absorb.
And just to piggyback on what Haley said, of course, if we could all get all of our protein from whole food sources, that is absolutely ideal. If you're in a pinch and or you really love something, fit it in, but we have clients that come to us that are literally having shakes for every meal. And
they're feeling so bloated and feeling terrible. And you'll look at their diary and I'm like, well, I know why you're feeling bloated.
And you'll start to crave real food when you start eating it. Foods from the ground, foods that walk around, foods from the sea, foods from the air. That's how we were intended to eat. And when we start eating that way, boy, do we feel good.
Seriously. So if you're feeling super bloated, because that's the number one complaint I get from clients who really rely on protein shakes, is they're like, I just feel so bloated, but I'm not really eating anything. And I'll look and I'll be like, well, you're feeling bloated because you're relying on shakes or powders for your protein sources. And our bodies don't like that quite so much. So anyway, if you're feeling really bloated, for one, hydrate. And for two, maybe try reducing the amount of protein powders and shakes that you're drinking and replacing it with whole foods.
Do it.
Finally, creatine for women. What do you think about it?
So I'm actually going to let Haley talk more on this one because you personally take creatine.
I do.
Yeah, and I don't. But I do think that it has its place for sure. And this question has come up a couple times lately. I think being selective with the creatine you use is really important. And I think that there is just as many benefits for women as there is for men. And it really depends on your goals.
Yeah. So, I've flirted with creatine for a long time. Yeah, I have. It's been this little thing in my cupboard where I'm like, ooh, maybe I should try that. I've been taking it, I haven't been taking it for very long, consistently, only about, 10, maybe 12 days, maybe 2 weeks. And so with creatine, it takes a while for your muscles to fully saturate. So I take 5 grams a day. There are a million different creatine supplements out there. You don't have to spend a ton of money.
You take the Thorn one, right?
I take the Thorn one, which we have, if you go to macromavens.life and you go to the shop page, thank you. It is linked there if you click on the Thorn supplement. So it's an amino acid. We can get creatine from the foods that we eat. We get it from eggs. We get it from protein. But our bodies use up creatine pretty quickly. And what creatine does is it builds up in our muscles and it causes our muscles to pull in water. And so a lot of people are scared of creatine because it may cause the scale to go up a little bit because your body is absorbing more water, your muscles. But what it does is it creates and it builds ATP, which is the energy source of our muscles. So a lot of people take creatine to help with performance in the gym, to help with, let's say that they have a goal. A lot of people who want to build muscle will take creatine because it makes your muscles nice and round and full because it's filling up those cells with water, which is a good thing. I'm taking it more for the brain benefits. So creatine is so good for your cognition, you guys. It's really good for your brain. Women tend to be scared of creatine because of what it does to the scale. Like I said, I've only been taking it for 2 weeks. It takes about a month to, if you're only taking 5 grams a day, which is all I'm taking, it takes about a month for your body your muscles to be fully saturated. Now you can up the amount that you're taking. I could take 10 grams a day. I could take 20 grams a day if I wanted to, and then I would be fully saturated in about a week. Although I did read that if you try to accelerate that process, a lot of times it can end in digestive issues, and I didn't want to deal with that. I just figured I'd go the long route. So, it's really good for your brain. A lot of people talk about how it gives you a really clear mind, and helps kind of clear out some of the fogginess. I don't tend to have a foggy brain in general, but I'm just really into wanting to use my brain as much as I can. And so that part of it intrigues me. I also want to see, like, will it increase my performance in the gym? And I feel really strong. I can lift heavy weights now. And I'm a self-experimenter. Yeah. And there's just been a lot of really positive things that come out about creatine. It's a really, it has been around forever. There's tons and tons of research on creatine and the benefits of it. And at this point, it's a supplement that I'm experimenting with, and I haven't seen anything negative with it at all. And so, I think that if women want to try creatine, it's really safe. You can't I don't know, there are very few side effects, if any. Some muscle cramping. I did read that there's some muscle cramping. Sometimes some people, if you take too much, you can feel bloated. It may cause digestive issues if you're trying to really really get yourself saturated for, let's say you have an event that you are trying to perform for or whatever, and you don't feel like you have enough time to let your body increase the creatine in enough time, and so you're trying to preload that. Then you might feel a little bit of digestive upset. But other than that, it's super safe, and it's really great for you. And I think it's underutilized, especially for women. Yeah. For women.
I love it.
I felt like that mumbled off.
For women. Okay, you guys, we are going to wrap because I'm hungry, and we're going to go do our first meal, whatever you guys name it. Yeah. I wanted to say meals with the Mavens, but we're going to have you guys name it. Yeah. So once again, we have a contest going. Go to our stories, name our new segment. We're super excited about it. We'll see how it turns out.
Yeah. We may be really excited for it. It may be a bust, but I think it's going to be good.
I think so too. Yeah. And also we'll do another one that where we ask you guys what restaurants you want us to hit up. We've already we haven't even asked, and we've already gotten some suggestions. So we'll probably tackle one of those today. And man, if you guys have questions, if we can help, if you're on the fence, head on over macromavens.life, click the hop on board button. Once again, it does not commit you to anything. It lets one of our coaches reach out, answer your questions, see if we're a good fit. We are here for it. We're here for you. We love our community. Yep. The outcomes we continue to get are just so stellar, and we're really excited for all that's to come.
Yeah. Remember, we're taking life by the horns, guys, and we want to take you with us. So if you are curious about what we do, if you're curious about nutrition, if you have goals and you want a coach to kind of help walk with you along that journey, go to macromavens.life, click the hop on board button. That's what we're here for. We just want to serve you guys.
Yep, we sure do. Yeah. We hope you guys have an awesome day, and we will see you later.
See you later.